management or sponsors. It's time to take a few moments from your busy day, unwind, and be inspired as you listen to the insights of empowerment psychic Halley Elise, a top 100 psychic, speaker, and author. Be sure to contact Halley Elise at halleyelise.com. And now, the Halley Elise Show.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. As always, I'm delighted and excited to be here and to join you. Usually hear me say that line when I have a guest, but it's just me today, as it was last week. I'm in the process of reorganizing, connecting with guests, having them come on, and now we have a new component, which is digital, which means that even if our guests are out of state or out of country, we'll be able to bring their image to you, have them interact with you on the air as well. So that's something new that we're working on, and I look forward to playing with that a little bit. And I say playing because you never know with technology with me what's going to show up, but I have confidence in the people that operate things. I do want to let you know if you wanted to call in today for a psychic session on the air, it's 888-565-1470. Once again, that's 888-565-1470. For those of you who missed the Psychic Gallery this past Wednesday, we were having a ball, and really and truly the people that turned out did so well. It was really great. We were doing charging up, which means learning how to capitalize on your own energy so that you can raise your vibration for not only awareness and intuition, but so that you actually have more physical energy to work with. And what's really fascinating, and I've shared a lot over the years, especially when I was teaching over at Nova Meditation, that when you shift things energetically, the physical body responds. And what I mean by that is, sometimes your physical body is not quite ready for that transformative feeling that comes on because your physical has to be in a position to handle the vibration or that frequency. So oftentimes you'll find that when you very first start to meditate or go into that quiet place, all of a sudden you feel a little lightheaded or possibly a little dizzy or off kilter. Some people even express some discomfort with stomach. All of these things happen not because there's anything wrong, but because you're doing it right. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but the truth of the matter is your body has to be able to accommodate that frequency. If you are first experiencing these types of things because you've just begun meditating or begun going into that very peaceful, quiet place, then allow yourself to be conscious of a deep breath. Believe it or not, something so simple has a lot of impact. And you have the ability that when you feel a little off, to shift as soon as you take that deep breath. You may need a couple, but it does make a difference. It helps reground, if you will, kind of settle the body. Now, we have a couple of callers already, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up the call. Lisa, are you there?
Hi, Halley.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Did you have a specific question today?
My career, love life, whatever you pick up.
Okay, let's see here. Interesting. I get August as being a boomer month for change. And to me, usually it's funny, summer doesn't come into play as far as when it's career changes. But for some reason, August for you, I feel, is a heavy hitter. And that means being prepared to make change by the end of the summer. So whatever you're doing in this moment, just know that there is a major shift here. And this is not simple as in, well, I'm doing looking at things differently or I'm going into a different department. This to me is more a matter of, okay, I was a grocer and now I'm studying to be an accountant, which I know sounds crazy, but it's that feeling of being impactful, that feeling of it being larger than you might anticipate. The biggest thing that I'm getting here is really make a decision about what you want in respect to the work, not about the money. And I know that's easy for me to say because I'm on the other end, but really and truly the overall impression is you will have what you want financially. You have to get happier with your day in and day out practice. Now, there's also a mixed feel here in respect to business itself, and that is you can do, how can I put this? You can do a multitude of things to make money, but not all of those things bring you joy. And there's an awareness there. And I think most of us are like that to some degree. This, though, to me is the past, I'd say 3, 4, it feels like longer than 4 years, possibly 5, doing work that is not as gratifying as it should be. It feels as if
Correct.
there are moments where you're like, okay, this is good, but I'd say 90% of the time not. And you put so much time and emphasis on being there and doing the right thing. It really is time for that major shift. So this is, if you will, this cycle that I'm getting is in alignment with what your personal needs are, meaning that the universe is conspiring to assist you in making a transformative move for you as far as business, as far as career. So again, I'm going to say get clear. And when I mean get clear, start thinking about the things that make you feel joyous. Start thinking in terms of not what the title is so much, but more the embodiment of the work. Because really think about this for a moment. You can have the title of general manager and have a whole bunch of people under you that don't do their job, that make life difficult for you, and you don't enjoy the work, even though the title is nice.
Right.
I'm getting that, again, I get the remuneration financially being there. It's more a matter of taking this time, because we're in July? So yeah, it's only a month. I'm going to say for the next 3 weeks specifically, really give thought to what is going to make you most happy. Because by August, things will shift for you. And you're going to find that for the first time in quite a while, that you get excited about going to work. You get that sense of fulfillment. You get that sense of appreciation. So this is a nice move because it's going to spill over into other areas of your life. Some people, when their finances are askew, that affects their love life. Some people, when work is off kilter, that affects their other relationships. And it's not because it's a conscious thing, but it's more a matter of we're somewhat preoccupied with our discontent, and it spills over into other areas. You asked about career and you asked about romance, and the feeling here overall is October is really going to be your sweetest month in respect to romance, in respect to relationship. And part of that is because you are going to be feeling better about you, again, connected to career, connected to business. And you're going to find this nice little flow coming in. I get that if we go back to 2012, there was a similar cycle for you. And it, to me, is I'm going to say beginning of 2012. There was that sense of purpose and enjoyment and sweetness. You're going back into another cycle like that. So you have something really beautiful to look forward to. So thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, Halley.
My
Have
pleasure.
a great week.
You as well. Bye-bye. Now, I saw there was another name. It was Tricia. Okay. Hi, Tricia. How are you?
Hi. Hello. How are you?
Good, thank you. Did you have a specific you wanted to address today?
Well, I have a couple things. One is I don't work, and I'm a little disabled physically, but I'm wondering if, and I'm a singer, I'm wondering, is there any indication to you that I will be doing any singing on, I'm thinking about going on the internet possibly, but I don't know if it's where I should be.
It's
headed.
funny.
But also, my main question is my wife, her son is doing a movie right now, and I'm wondering, do you get any indication, any vibration, whether this movie, it's a major movie with major stars, and will this be a success? That's probably my biggest question.
Okay, so let me start with the first thing, which is, as you said, I am a sing. Before you got out the full word, my head went to time for internet, and then you turned around and said about you were possibly looking at doing something on that lines. Yes, do that. Do webinars. Do instructive types of videos. Do things having to do with getting attention for your work via YouTube, but definitely explore the internet as a viable source for you to share your singing, but also to make some money. That's number one. That's definitely a very positive channel for you. As far as your wife's son, it's interesting because I get a mixed feeling. Even though I get him performing with big players, I get a very mixed feel on the film. It almost to me is a sense of controversy involved around the film, as if putting it together itself has been a bit of a quandary.
Yeah.
I get that.
Well, one of the major players just got arrested, but he's back on the film now. So, yeah.
All right. So here's
there has been some up and down. He's got Down syndrome. My stepson, and this is a breakthrough film. This could really be a beautiful film,
right,
for people with disabilities. And so I'm praying that this gets made. It's a small film, but could be big.
Okay, so the overall impression, as I said, is there's a bit of conflict around it initially, though it reminds me of a sleeper film where it starts out slow but has longevity.
Okay.
The overall impression here is this is not just to help others who are afflicted with Down syndrome, but this is something that's really going to make a huge difference for your stepson. Just meeting some of these people on the set is going to bring him such happiness. They're going to find him as lovely as he finds them. And to me, what I'm getting is a lot of connections made for him. But the film itself, I get very slow in moving, but has longevity. And again, the term sleeper comes in.
Great.
Think in terms of not a wow initially, meaning it's not a, oh, wow. What was it? The Long Mile, I think, was a film that was such a breakthrough type of film where it was unexpected and did phenomenally well. I don't get this doing that type of numbers, at least not at the beginning. But again, I feel like over time, if there's patience involved, this is something that will definitely last. And I also feel like it's a film that is going to be shown in a lot of different arenas. It's not just for the public.
Right, I understand, and that makes total sense. So, but you see him getting connections, and I mean, everyone does love him. He's wonderful, all that.
The sense that I get with this, and I'm going to call him a kid, even though I don't feel like he's a little kid.
Oh, no,
he's a grown up, but he has a kid's heart. Meaning, there's that enthusiasm, there's that excitement, there's the idea of looking things with fresh eyes, and really and truly, everybody on the set is going to adore this person, and it's going to make a big difference for him. Thank you so much for calling in. Have a beautiful day.
God bless you.
Thank you. We'll be right back with the Halley Elise Show. Hi, it's Halley Elise, your empowerment psychic, and it's time to take a few moments from your busy day, unwind, and be inspired as you listen to Insights. I am a top 100 psychic, speaker, and author, and I invite you to join me Tuesdays noontime on WNN Radio. I look forward to speaking with you.
Journey with Gaia Retreat in Mount Shasta, August 19th through the 25th. A transforming and magical experience with Catherine Lorenzini. Embrace the energies of Mount Shasta and the portals of the root chakra. Channeling ascending masters, energy vortexes, sacred sites, crystal bowl healings, vision quests, and so much more. Visit JourneyWithGaia.com for more information. That's JourneyWithGaia, GAIA.com. You have been listening to a Top 100 Psychic, Halley Elise, your connection to all things spiritual, psychic, and empowering. For a private session, call 561-755-2166. Now, back to the Halley Elise Show and your empowerment psychic, Halley Elise.
Welcome back to the Halley Elise Show. I'm glad to be with everyone today. If you want to call in and have your own personalized reading on the air, it's 888-565-1470. Once again, that's 888-565-1470. Also, if you'd like to see more about me and what I do, feel free to go to the website. That's HalleyElise.com. So that's HalleyElise.com. I do want to remind everybody, if you had listened last week or the week before, I was sharing that we have this wonderful event taking place in the Berkshires, and you'll have the opportunity to learn how to expand your aura field, to enhance it to the degree that ultimately success is what you get. There's not any room for failure because you transmute that energy. And it will be from, let me think here, September 20th through the 22nd. It is the celebration of autumn equinox. We will be working with singing bowls and with music. We will be doing energy and frequency work. We will be showing you how to do simple things that can make a profound difference so that you can have as much success as you want. And it will be in the Berkshire Mountains, which are just gorgeous. My dear friend, Macaulay Nicholas, who has several PhDs and who has been working with energy, with angels, within this realm, I believe even longer than I, is going to be hosting at his estate, which is the Holmesdale Estate. Oliver Wendell Holmes, many of you may know him from his writings, from his medical work in the 1700s, owned the home. This was their summer vacation home, which is fabulous. But there are several rooms that are available. There is a little guest cottage available, or you could just come up and join us if you live in the area, or if you'd like to stay at a local hotel and attend. It'll be phenomenal. Food will be inclusive. Beverages will be inclusive. You'll have a time of your life, and you will find that the property itself just breathes awareness. It embodies that sense of accomplishment, of joy, of wealth. If you'd like more information, please contact me either via my website, HalleyElise.com, or you can get in touch with Macaulay. Like if you're busy right now and you're at the computer and you think, ooh, I want to check this out, look at Holmesdale on Facebook, and you'll be able to connect with Macaulay directly. All right, then, we're going to go ahead and move on. We have a caller on the line, and I just went blank. Nancy, yes? Okay. Hi, Nancy. How are you?
Hi, I'm well. It's my first time tuning in.
Okay. Well, hopefully it's a happy time.
Yes. I don't know how you work. Do I need to ask a question, or do you just tap into me?
Well, I always give the option. If you have a specific question that you'd like to address, we can go that route. Or if you'd like me to just give you what comes up, we can go that route. So you tell me which you prefer today.
What comes up?
Okay. What comes up is, overall, you have a very enigmatic, outgoing, I'll say, positive attitude. And yet, there's an aspect here that has to do with forgiveness that is very difficult for you. I feel like you've got something sitting under the surface that you really would like, I'll say, would really benefit by addressing. And I know you're aware of the idea that when we hold on to something, when we don't forgive, it's not about the other person, it's about us, because obviously they're not feeling that. It's all about what's going on with us. But this to me is very old, and this to me is something that should have been released a long time ago. I would love to just make a suggestion that you sit down and write out your feelings, whether it's 2 minutes, whether it's an hour, take as much time as you need. And when you're done, scrunch it up, stomp on it, put it on fire, but do something physical to say you're done with it. Because that energy, believe it or not, as much as you have this beautiful, optimistic, and sweet outlook, that energy that's old interferes with some of the things that are going on in your world. And it doesn't make sense because it doesn't have to be there.
Right.
So allow yourself to do, I'll call it a little bit of work, because it is, somewhat contemplative and introspective. It will make a huge difference. The other thing is, when it comes to family, stop worrying. You can't fix anything for anybody. And again, I'm telling you something you know, and yet you go into that place of being the protective one, the one who wants to fix it and make it all right, which is beautiful. Yet you need to step back a little bit. Think more about you.
Yeah, I've actually stopped with my family. I rarely communicate with them. And it's not out of anger, but I had to do that with my sister.
Pulling back. But the thing that I get here is there is still, I'll call it an attachment energetically, meaning that there is still that constant concern and awareness.
Yes.
And with that too, that ties me back into what I said initially, that forgiveness.
Right.
It's something that will benefit you, honey. It's not really about her,
agree.
but as soon as you work on that for you, you will find that overall those feelings just seem to dissipate.
Right.
And you'll find that each day gets easier. Okay, and I'm going to totally switch modes here for just a second. And I'm going to preface with, obviously, I do not have any medical training or medical background. This is all sensory for me, so always defer to your own judgment and your doctor. That being said, my little disclaimer there. I'm getting something going on with, I want to say heel, ankle, legs, but it feels to me as if there's a lot of discomfort there. And I get a combination of things. I feel like part of it has to do with the need to actually stretch muscles. And I get part of it having to do with circulation. But I also get there being some sort of deficiency here. I would take a look at trace minerals. See if you can't add trace minerals into your diet. If, matter of fact, I know they have on the market this little liquid drop thing that you can just put in a glass of water. It doesn't really have a taste. It feels to me as if it could be of benefit to you. So maybe do a little research about that to start that process of feeling better. Because this, to me, when it shows up, is really uncomfortable. And the only other thing
that's what's happening now. My leg and my knee are bothering.
Okay. The only other thing that I would suggest here is think warmth versus cool when it comes to making it feel better, but not hot, warm. I mean, really be conscious of that. So in other words, a hot shower, not really the best, but a warm compress, that could be really helpful to you.
Okay.
All right, my friend.
And how do you reach you?
You can reach me at my office at 561-755-2166 or via the website, HalleyElise.com. Or if you Google me, there's about 25 pages. So there's lots of different ways. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a beautiful day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. And I believe we have Jamie on the line.
Oh, that was quick.
Sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's shorter. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you so much. Did you have a specific? I don't recall the last time.
If that's how long it's been.
Oh, well, there you go. Did you have a specific today, honey?
No, I guess what your thoughts, if there was anything specific or if there's anything relationship, I don't know. I mean, everything's pretty status quo, so I can't, I'm grateful, but just always like a little, validation.
Okay, well, it's funny because you say status quo, but there's this little pang that I get. And I get the sense that there's the word okay when it comes to relationships really shouldn't be a part of your vocabulary. Like, it's okay. It should be, it's a wow. Or, okay, we had a day that was okay, but the rest of it is a wow. I get there being a little bit of frustration here. And I get the sense that part of that has to do with, on your end, not fully communicating. The idea of holding back because you don't want to create any sort of disruption, or you don't want to go over something that that's not going to go your way, doesn't really make sense. If you can think in terms of communicating by the other person's value, or I should say by the way they value things, you'll find that you were able to communicate better. And so, for instance, I'm going to give a really silly analogy, but if taking the dog out 3 times a day, 4 times a day is a priority for you, and you say, oops, I can't do it, can you get to the dog? And the priority for them is twice a day versus 4 times a day. Even if you say it, please, can you do it? It's not necessarily going to have importance to them. You follow me so far?
Yeah, I was married. I know what that's all about.
Okay.
Compromise.
Right. So compromise is important, but it's more a matter of how it's communicated. Think of it as when you're communicating, what is the gain for the other person?
When I said status quo, I meant in my life in general, like with my children and my stability.
Right, I got that. But I really get the sense that when it comes to spouse, there is a lot of good commonality there. There is a lot of genuine, I'll say, concern, friendship, support of each other. But again, I get that frustration, so that's why I went there. And I'll
I'm
leave.
not with my husband. He and I separated 3 years ago, and I will never go back with him again. So I don't know if maybe you're just picking up the energy that
Maybe
frustration
then
I have with him.
maybe then it's stagnant, and meaning stagnant energy around you, because I just feel like there's still a connection there of not getting. Again, frustration is what comes up for me. So I may not
I
be.
need to get divorced.
Pardon?
I need to get divorced to get that energy off of me. That's what I need to
Okay,
do.
so you are actually married, even though you say you don't have a husband, you are still married. So that's where that comes
Legally.
in. Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
because
we've been separated for 3 years. So I thought maybe new relationship or romance would come
okay,
up.
I can go there
Perhaps.
for you, but what I'm trying to explain is, for me, the way it showed up is a married energy, a connection there, frustration
Yeah.
there. Okay, so at least we're clear, because I'm going, it really feels like marriage. Okay, so at least it makes
I
sense.
just wrote a forgiveness letter to him and burned it outside. That's how much frustration I had towards him. So you are correct.
All right, well, that's good. And the truth is, till you feel as if that frustration is totally neutralized, you may want to do it again, like maybe once a week or once a month, till you get to a point where it doesn't show up for you in that way. But as an adjunct to that, after you do the burning, take a moment and write down things that you feel grateful for, not specifically connected to him, but things in your life. And the reason that I say this is, when you empty a space energetically, it needs to
You
be
have to fill
filled.
it, yeah.
Right. And so you don't want to leave it where it's kind of hanging, okay, I was
Something
upset.
could get in it that shouldn't. Yes,
Correct.
I get it.
Correct.
I do the gratitude thing every day, and I even have my little girls, because I have 3 kids, but my little ones, we go around a circle and name 3 things we're grateful for. We do
Right.
that every day that I have them.
But this should be done, what I'm talking
Right
about,
after.
directly after you've done any sort of work to clear.
Cleansing. It's like drinking water after massage. I get it.
Perfect. Yeah, great analogy. I need to remember that one.
See? Makes
See?
sense.
You can come on the show and help.
Your body and leave.
Perfect.
And exit.
Okay. So as far as new, I'm going to say 2 people around you that are interested in you, but you haven't quite noticed yet. Start paying attention. You're going to laugh, but when you are at a place with your car, and believe it or not, the grocery store, because I get 2 people that have been kind of going, ooh, she's pretty. Ooh, I'd like to meet her. Thanks so much for calling in, hon. Have a beautiful day.
All right, you two, take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Be well. Bye.
Thanks. We'll be right back. We're going to take a little break, and I'll see you in a moment. Thank you. This is your empowerment psychic, Halley Elise, one of the top 100 psychics in America. For over 30 years, I have offered psychic readings, programs, spiritual guidance, and other life skill techniques. As our lives have become more complicated, we often reach for answers. Who are we? Where are we headed? Are we pointed in the right direction? In addition, we often are concerned for our loved ones. I have helped thousands of people navigate their life circumstances through different modalities of spiritual and intuitive guidance. Call me at 561-755-2166 and allow me to further explain how I may assist you in clearing the path of yesterday so today and tomorrow will be a success. Call me at 561-755-2166 or visit my site, HalleyElise.com. That's HalleyElise.com.
Journey with Gaia Retreat in Mount Shasta, August 19th through the 25th. A transforming and magical experience with Catherine Lorenzini. Embrace the energies of Mount Shasta and the portals of the root chakra. Channeling ascending masters, energy vortexes, sacred sites, crystal bowl healings, vision quests, and so much more. Visit JourneyWithGaia.com for more information. That's JourneyWithGaia, GAIA.com. You have been listening to a Top 100 Psychic, Halley Elise, your connection to all things spiritual, psychic, and empowering. For a private session, call 561-755-2166. Now, back to the Halley Elise Show and your empowerment psychic, Halley Elise.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in today, I do want to let you know you can call in for a psychic read on the air. It's 888-565-1470. I want to share something that I was just thinking about on break. usually when it comes to the show, unless I have a guest on, I don't have a specific theme that I am going to address. So the exception to that is if there is some sort of world event that's prevalent, or there's a big holiday such as the 4th of July that's taking place, though generally it's more a matter of allowing me to be guided by the divine and just share whatever pops up. Last night I was thinking about the show and thinking about, it feels as if there is something that needs to be addressed. And this morning when I was getting dressed, I was thinking the same thing. What popped up for me was forgiveness. And it's interesting because there were 2 calls today that it was really relevant to, that idea of forgiving. And it's not always easy. You know, we hold on to anger, and I say we, human beings, it's amazing that we get anything done because we have this unusual programming. We tend to go and say, oh, that's not going to work out. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's too good to be true. You know, all of that. So if we think in terms of forgiveness, well, what good is that going to do me? But really and truly, we are souls, we are spirit, we are essence inside of human form. We are something so much bigger, greater, more expansive, divine than you can possibly imagine sitting within human form. And yes, we have all the human emotions that go along with being human and all the physical interactions and frailties and good things and bad things. Yet, if we can be really cognizant of when we are angry and have the ability to transmute it, which we do, have the ability to release, let go, loose things that are disturbing to us, ideas of people that have done us wrong or situations that didn't turn out right, and we are able to connect with it on a different plane, then we have the ability to attract better. Everybody's familiar with the expression like attracts like, or birds of a feather flock together. This is true in so many ways. It's not just about bad things. It's about good things. If you have the ability, I'm going to rephrase that, if you allow yourself, because it's really not an ability, the ability is already there. If you allow yourself to say, you know, I have an opinion about something, but I don't want to have a judgment on it. I don't want to be attached to it. I don't want to hold that heat, that anger, that angst, anxiety, that overwhelming sensation to explode. If I don't choose to hold on to that, I don't have to, then you find other things in your life become easier because everything is interactive. We often hear the expression mind, body, spirit. Whether we're aware of spirit or not, it's there. Whether we are aware of the fact that our mind can control what takes place in our body, it is there. If we allow ourselves to be more present, more interactive within our own life, to be present in this moment and ask yourself, if that thing from 5 years ago was 5 years ago, well, why am I holding on to it now? And our response is, well, because this happened and that happened, then we're not living in the present. We're actually living in past. And the past can't be in the present. The only thing that we truly have control over is this moment. Yes, we can anticipate the future. We can divine the future. We can be motivated and excited about the future. We can even shift what future events are. If you want to use that power, that part of us that's magical, that is spiritual, that is connected and cut from the divine, it is really important to release old hurt. It's really important not to hold anger. It's really important to forgive. The one thing that you really want to remember here is forgiving yourself is probably bigger than anybody you might forgive in your life. And if you're thinking, wow, wait a minute, I didn't do anything, I don't need to be forgiven, I've done nothing wrong. It's the idea of I'm forgiving myself for having feelings that are not serving me. I am forgiving myself for getting into that situation to begin with because perhaps I could have done it different. But since I didn't, I'm forgiving that it took place. I am forgiving myself for being in a state that is less than a state of love, less than a state of gratitude, less than a state of grace. Now, this is not about preaching. This is about, I truly believe when you wake up in the morning, you should be happy. I truly believe that, yes, there are things that happen in our life that throw us totally off and put us into a place of sadness or into a place of uncertainty or feeling lost or hapless. That place should only be temporary. If I are carrying that around for long periods, then the rest of our life is affected by those emotions. You can shift them. You can make small strides to end up doing something huge. And I just wanted to get that out there because as I mentioned earlier, it was on my mind last night, it was on my mind this morning, and then a couple of calls came in that really reminded me this is something that we should be aware of as a people. Really take it a little bit further, and we take a look at the fact that it's not just us. It's our city or our country or countries around the world. If the majority of the people, we'll say 75% of the people around the world were able to take a look at what forgiveness means and really be in that place, we'd have a totally different world. We would be so much more at peace all the way around. So hopefully this is planting a little seed. And if you personally have something going on that needs to be released, perhaps you'll take another look at it. Okay, I have Robert on the phone who's been patiently waiting. Hi, Robert. How are you? Did I lose Robert? Hello? Did
I'm
we
here.
lose? You're here. Okay. Are you...
I just want to start off by saying, listen, I wasn't in a great mood last week's show.
Okay.
I listened for the whole hour, and at the end, I was in an unbelievable great mood for the whole rest of the day and the next day.
Oh, that's so nice. I'm so glad.
So I just have one question. I just wanted to know what my soul's agenda is.
Your soul's agenda. I love when people ask that because it's so interesting. You know, we look at garbage men sometimes and we think, is that what they're supposed to be doing? And believe it or not, a lot of the times the answer really is yes. They are there not because they're supposed to pick up dirty things, but because there is something about the work themselves. When you ask about your soul, it's really fascinating because I get the sense it is about, and I was saying about forgiveness earlier, it is about more you than other people. All right, let me try to clarify this so this will come in more with words versus sensation. When I contemplate on you, your energy, your soul, I get the sense that it is about touching other people and being okay in whatever way that happens. And I don't mean going and squeezing somebody's tush. So let me clarify. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that when you have an interaction with someone and it doesn't go well, you are definitely somebody who does this whole thinking thing over and over and over and over and over. The mind spins for all the reasons why it happened, why it shouldn't have happened, how it could have happened different. So the feel here is it's about learning how to be okay with everything you do, literally. So if you do something...
I'm working on that. You're definitely right, and I'm slowly changing.
Perfect. Bottom line, you're not going to get it overnight. I mean, I'd love to say you could little twitch your nose like bewitched, but it is a process, and it comes down to even if you get close, any stride that you make, and I feel as if from, I'm going to say 7, 8, believe it or not, feels like a very significant time frame, 7, 8 years old, but it feels like that was, if you will, the catalyst to start on this journey, to start recognizing who you are and being okay with who you are and being okay with your choices and just saying next that you are definitely in the right direction. I think what you really have to keep in mind is, in as much as you see frailty or failings within yourself, others don't. Other people do not see you how you see you.
I'm my worst critic.
Right.
I beat myself up all the time.
Right. And I think it's really important for you to recognize that when somebody looks at you, they can't read your mind. They don't know what you
Thank
did
God.
a week ago or a month ago. It doesn't matter. And when somebody says, hey, how you doing? They're being polite. They really don't want you to tell them exactly what's going on. And the reason I'm sharing this is because when it comes to a soul's growth, anything that you do while you're on the planet means that you're growing. Sometimes slower, sometimes faster. Though, if you continue in the direction that you're headed, you will find in the next, I'm going to say decade, I know that sounds so far off, but it feels to me approximately 10 years, that when you get to that end point of that decade, you're going to look back at this time and think, what was I so hung up on? Because you will have mastered it to a point where that confidence level is where it should have been 15 years ago. And I want to say, too, as far as actual work, not as far as spirit, soul, but as far as, physical toil, you don't have to do that so hard either. You realize that, right?
Yeah, but I'm kind of a perfectionist.
Right. But it would be okay if you actually let some people help you once in a while.
Okay.
So think delegate and think in terms of, is it that important? And so I'll give a really silly example. If you have 5 pencils on the table and there is one that's slightly askew instead of perfectly lined up the way that you would do it, and somebody else put them on the table, and you're thinking, oh man, I can't believe I got to go over there and fix it.
You got it.
Yeah.
That's me. Even things in the refrigerator, the labels have to be facing out. It's ridiculous.
Right.
I wish I could turn it off.
Well, here's the thing. You don't have to turn it off, but what you might want to start considering is asking yourself, how important is this in this moment? Like right at this moment. Is that the most important thing for me to put my time and energy into? Is that the most important thing for me to pay attention to? And unless you get an absolute emphatic yes, walk away from it.
Okay.
It takes practice.
Somebody did tell me that I have a Virgo rising, and people that have that are just naturally like that.
Okay, I'll be candid. I don't know really very much about astrology other than, the Libra's the scales, the Virgo carries the water. I can say my mom's a Virgo, which that opens up another can of worms. But what I know is what I'm picking up from you. You sometimes make things harder than they have to be for you. And if you can just, again, take a minute and just ask yourself, how important is this right now? That can be huge for you, truly. Okay, but as I said, the direction that you're headed with that self-care and being able to be okay with you is perfect because you're right on track.
Okay.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much for calling in. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Have a good day, hon.
You too.
Thanks. All right, we're going to take another little break, and we'll be back with the Halley Elise Show. Thank you. This is your empowerment psychic, Halley Elise, one of the top 100 psychics in America. For over 30 years, I have offered psychic readings, programs, spiritual guidance, and other life skill techniques. As our lives have become more complicated, we often reach for answers. Who are we? Where are we headed? Are we pointed in the right direction? In addition, we often are concerned for our loved ones. I have helped thousands of people navigate their life circumstances through different modalities of spiritual and intuitive guidance. Call me at 561-755-2166 and allow me to further explain how I may assist you in clearing the path of yesterday so today and tomorrow will be a success. Call me at 561-755-2166 or visit my site, HalleyElise.com. That's HalleyElise.com.
Journey with Gaia Retreat in Mount Shasta, August 19th through the 25th. A transforming and magical experience with Catherine Lorenzini. Embrace the energies of Mount Shasta and the portals of the root chakra. Channeling ascending masters, energy vortexes, sacred sites, crystal bowl healings, vision quests, and so much more. Visit JourneyWithGaia.com for more information. That's JourneyWithGaia.com. You have been listening to a Top 100 Psychic, Halley Elise, your connection to all things spiritual, psychic, and empowering. For a private session, call 561-755-2166. Now, back to the Halley Elise Show and your empowerment psychic, Halley Elise.
Welcome back. We have a young lady who's waiting on the line there very patiently. I believe the name was Bianca. Is that correct?
Right.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Halley?
Good, thank you. Did you have a specific question today?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you see anything in regards to like relationships or whatever for me.
Okay. Another tough cookie. Oh my goodness. You want what you want the way you want it, but when it shows up, you don't recognize it. And what I mean by that is a lot with you has to do with how it's perceived initially. And I think again, just so that you don't think I'm picking on you, we all do this. There is a certain something that attracts us to somebody or about somebody, and that's all we see in the moment. We're not seeing like the whole picture. Follow me so far?
Yeah, I have that problem.
Yeah. What I'd really love to suggest with you is go out just to have fun. Date 3 people at one time, not to compare, but to ask yourself, which person did I have more fun with? You get caught up in the particulars. It has to fit a certain, if you will, structure as far as behavior, appearance, attitude, what they like, what they don't like. And if there's one thing that's off, you kind of go, see ya, like you hit the floor running. You make it tough on yourself, honey. I'd really love to suggest thinking in terms of I'm meeting new friends with the, if you will, hopefulness or with the open expectation of one of them becoming a permanent love. If you can kind of shift it around in your head, you would be so much more successful because you're smart, you're outgoing, you're friendly, you are very selective, which is good, which means that you're not going to settle for anybody in your world who is not able to keep you mentally busy, who's not able to keep you physically busy. But by the same token, sometimes people are nervous when they first meet. And with you, they don't get a second chance. Like if somebody did something, oops, because of nervousness, they're gone. I'd love to really, truly emphasize, go out to have fun. Give yourself 4 months. 4 months. Like, set it on the calendar. As of today's date, 4 months from now. Be open to going out with at least 3 different people just for the purpose of having fun. Because I feel like if you do that, you're going to find that a lot of what you initially see as like, ugh, this isn't for me, go away, is more a matter of, oh, well, they're really nice, but no, I don't really see this long term. And I get the sense that if you can allow yourself just a short period of time to, again, just interact for the purpose of enjoying, then all of a sudden you have the right person who comes in. We're July, August, September, October, November, December. I'm going to say by January. And for me, between now and then, so it could be as soon as tomorrow, typically not, but it doesn't feel any later than January. Really having your heart be happy, really having that sweetness that you want. Though I come back to, you need a short period of time to decompress. Because you see certain things and you're done. And it's actually not to your benefit, hon. This makes sense?
Oh, definitely, for sure.
And
my exes, they're like, we can never win with you.
Yeah. And it really is more a matter of, do they have to be perfect or do they have to be somebody that makes you smile? I mean, really give some thought to that. Okay, so they didn't put their socks in the hamper, one's hanging off the side, and that ticks you off. Done. Or is it like, all right, I'm going to put a little note above the hamper, and I'm going to make it comical, and I'm going to say, if it falls off, I'm feeding it to my pet dragon. You'll be, with one sock. Meaning approaching things with a little bit more lightness.
Yes.
Versus it's got to be my way. Because, yes, certain things should absolutely be your way. And it's important that you have what you want in a relationship. But if you're honest with yourself, if you're looking for 100%, It's not happening in this lifetime. It's not happening on this planet. 85%, though, is pretty rocking. And I feel like you have somebody coming into your life, like I said, between now and January that can give that to you. But you are going to miss them if you don't slightly make an adjustment.
Got it. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And let me add one more thing here. And I'm going to go back to like physical stuff. And again, preface, I'm not a physician, but it's something that comes up. I get something going on with your stomach. And I just want to say, be really attentive to what you eat. Like, take notice within, I'd say, 20 to 40 minutes after you eat, how your stomach is feeling. There's a couple things that you're sensitive to. I don't get an allergy per se, as in sneezing or having a breakout, but I get something going on with the digestive system, and it's more of a sensitivity there to pay attention to.
Okay. Wow, it's spot on. Thank you.
You're very welcome, hon. Have a beautiful day.
You too. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so I mentioned earlier about forgiveness and the idea of making a huge difference for ourselves with that, because we have to live in our own body. We are the ones who answer to us. We are the ones who can choose to or not do something. I was talking with someone the other day who has a lot of things going on, and I said something to the effect of, but you're not choosing to do A, B, C, and D. And the response was, I can't. For me, I can't really isn't accurate. I can't maybe in this minute, or I can't maybe this day, but I can't as in absolute. Doesn't work. If there's something that you really need to do for you and you don't feel that you are able to do it on your own, then enlist somebody. Ask your kid, ask your spouse, ask your loved one, your cousin, your neighbor, what have you. If you truly want to make a difference in your world, where you want to wake up, and again, for me, waking up in a good mood is important. And it's not as if I plan it. I mean, really and truly, yes, it's nice to be greeted by my 15-year-old kitty who does the whole, hey, I'm going to bang the dish against the wall unless you get me breakfast. And I go stumbling out of bed to accommodate her. Or if I have a foster pet in the house, or several as the case may be, I may not be thrilled to death at getting up at whatever hour it is to take care of them. By the same token, as soon as I see those little faces, I'm a happy camper. As soon as I recognize that it's a beautiful day out, the idea that, I opened my eyes. This is a good thing. I have a busy day. I don't have a busy day. If you can't, you need to check in with yourself. Is it can't for the moment? Is it can't for the rest of your life? Do you want to live in a place of discomfort? That's a personal choice. And I know there are people out there that would say, you don't understand. Some people can't because they're depressed. Some people can't because they've had a really rough time and they don't know any better. Some people can't because. There is always a because. You have to ask yourself, is that where you want to be? Because, and this is my opinion, and obviously you're going to come to whatever solution is good for you. But in my opinion, if you want to make a change, you will figure out a way to do it. It doesn't come down to what's easy. It doesn't come down to what's available. It doesn't come down to what you already know. It means work at it. I have a client who's been a client for, oh my gosh, really long time. I'm thinking it's got to be 10, 11 years now. Lovely, lovely person. Originally came in distraught, overwhelmed, really not wanting to be here on the planet. And I often refer to her because, to me, she is probably the most magnificent example of somebody who said, I can't, but I'd like to. I don't know how, but I want to. This individual made such a huge, huge transformation, not just on a personal level, but in their industry, that they went from 1 to 1,000. What would appear rapidly was a 5-year process. The point that I'm getting at is, if you are feeling under the weather, depressed, incapable, if you are feeling as if the roof is caving in, do yourself one favor. Reach out. And if you're thinking, well, I don't want to bother anybody, I'm not going to take charity, I don't want anybody to do anything for me, then what you're saying is people that are able to help you, that would be willing to help you and would be happy to help you, you're unable to appreciate them. And that doesn't make sense. If there is something going on with you and you truly want to transform, you don't like the way it feels, you want to have more harmony in your world, you want to wake up with that smile on your face, you want to live in a different location, you want to have a love life, you want to have a better job, you want to, whatever that want to is, drop weight, put weight on, whatever that focus is, that intention is, it's doable. Don't let anybody tell you it's not, including yourself. And if you've been constantly saying, I can't, it's not possible, it's not doable, it's been this long, this is the way my life is, then you need to ask yourself, do you really want to do it this way for the rest of your life? Because you don't have to. You can have better. You can have more. And if you need some assistance as far as connecting within, so that you can get that inspiration, please let me know. It's one of my favorite things to do, to share that type of information. I thank you very much for tuning in today. I look forward to connecting with you next week. Have a beautiful and a blessed day, folks. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Tune in every Tuesday on WNN at noon for an hour of peace, inspiration, and psychic phenomena with empowerment psychic Halley Elise. And be sure to visit HalleyElise.com. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.